Having social anxiety is pointless. Social anxiety is fundamentally an illogical thing to have. Fundamentally, it does not make sense. In a natural context, in the animal world, social anxiety is not a real thing. It should not exist. And let me show you why. In order to understand social anxiety, let me explain to you what anxiety really is and how it comes to you. So, first of all, anxiety is something that exists in every single animal in this planet. Fundamentally, anxiety was meant to help us as humans because our ancestors used to hunt in tribes, and so whenever an enemy was close by or whenever they thought that something bad was going to happen, they would get anxious because they thought that their life was in danger. But now that we are living in the 21st century, so we don't need to be having all these anxiety attacks anymore, okay? But this genetic information of anxiety has passed over onto our generation, even though we're not hunting in tribes anymore, but we are still getting anxiety from just daily tasks. Anxiety comes from thinking that your life is going to be in danger, and that's how most anxiety in the world comes to you. And that's also how PTSD works. So, social anxiety is the fear of having to interact with people other than you because you think in your brain is sending itself a signal that if you interact with this person, something bad is going to happen to you or you're going to lose your life. That's basically what your brain is thinking. And that's why you have social anxiety in this moment. So, the first step that you need to be doing is realizing that interacting with people is not going to fundamentally hurt you. That's the first thing you need to be doing because all your fear comes from your worry, your biological worry that if you do something, you might die. So, in order to get over that fear, you need to first come to yourself, come to your senses, and realize that talking to this person is not going to affect me in any way, shape, or form. And think about it. What can it actually do to you? You are anxious because you think something bad will happen. What is the worst that can happen to you? The worst thing that can happen to you is you go up and you make a conversation and you might get rejected or you feel embarrassed. Okay? And what's that going to do? Nothing. Embarrassment is not real. Embarrassment, awkwardness, all these things are in your head. They don't exist in the physical platform. Every single thing, almost 80% of your problems are in your head. Social anxiety is one of them. What's the most that can happen? You might get embarrassed, you might get rejected. Okay, so that does not affect your life in any way, shape, or form. At the end of the day, you're still gonna go home and eat and sleep like a normal person. And 80% of interactions succeed in the first place because not many people try to make new conversations and interact with new people. And that's why most people are not used to being interacted with, but most people like making conversations with others. So 80% of the time, if you do it, you are going to succeed. That is the rule you have to follow. So if you're trying to make new friends or you're trying to make new connections, what is it gonna do to you if you go up to them and you say, hey, can we be friends? Or you wanna start up a conversation? The second point is that life is too short to be doing this stuff, okay? Life is too short to be afraid. It really is, okay? You're afraid of talking to people? Come on now. You're afraid of social interaction. And you know what? I'm not trying to insult people and diss people, but I can connect to this topic because I was someone who used to have social anxiety as well. Okay, I used to be in class, I used to never talk to people. People literally never used to talk to me in like sixth grade. No one ever talked to me. I was known as the shy girl who never ever talked. And I look back at that and I think, how better could my life have been if I had really just made more friends and had fun, okay? While everyone was outside playing, I was on my phone inside, probably doing work or something. I know that's not the life I wanted, and that's why I don't want you guys to live the life that you are living right now. So, social anxiety, it's in your head, it's a biological feature, and you can get over it by realizing that you are not bound to people. Nothing can happen to you if an interaction goes bad. That's the root problem of all your anxiety. Listen, life is too short to be worried about people, okay? Life is really too short to be worried about what people will think of you. Because soon you are gonna be old, And then you're gonna look back and think, I should not have wasted all those years just because I was scared of talking. Just because you're scared of talking, you have wasted all this time for nothing. That is illogical for you to be doing that. One advice I would like to give, if you have been suffering with social anxiety and you find out that nothing else is working, put your focus towards something else, okay? Because if you have social anxiety and you're so worried, your biggest main concern is social anxiety and you can't interact with people. If that's your biggest concern, you need to get bigger concerns than that. That's the simple way to put it. If you have social anxiety right now, that means that you are not focusing towards the other things in your life. Because the reason is you have put social anxiety, social interaction on a platform. You have put it on a pedestal, and now you can't seem to get it off because it seems like such a daunting big thing. Then you need to be focusing on other things. Are you focusing on your academics right now? Are you focusing on your career growth right now? Are you focusing on learning new skills or developing your own persona and developing your own being? Because once you start focusing on these other things, social interaction won't matter because you'll realize how absolutely non important it is in your life. The main reason that people put social anxiety on a pedestal, social interaction on a pedestal, is because they think that it's just such a huge thing in their life. But when you start focusing your time on other things, you realize that social interaction is really not contributing to your life in a huge manner. And so once you do that, you will become so confident in talking to people that you will think, oh, it's just the easiest thing ever because I don't have to worry about it because I have other bigger things to worry about. So that's one thing you need to be doing. Focus on your goals, and everything will come to you. Every single thing will come to you once you focus on something other than social interaction. Once you focus on your career growth, that will be so important to you that social interaction will seem like a kindergartner's game. That's how life works. What you focus on grows. So if you're focusing on the fact that you can't talk to people, that is going to grow in your life. So you need to remove that from a pedestal and put something else there. And social interaction will become the most easiest thing in your life.